This year, Twitter had me like. Then when Overwatch 2 came out, that game had me like. But when we did Big Mode, then I was like. When we announced this, you guys showed us so much love. You left so many incredible, uplifting comments. All these artists started drawing up this amazing artwork of Biggie, and so many super talented people started reaching out to us. Never in a million years did I expect such a warm response, man. That really meant a lot to me. And now, I think we're finally ready to make our first announcement. Hell yeah! We're publishing Animal Well, baby. The first ever open well type game. This was one of the very few games at E3 this year that caught my eye, and after playing it and getting to know the developer Billy Basso, we feel so lucky to be publishing Animal Well. It's intuitive, it's detailed, it's atmospheric. It's a game coming from a very pure place of love for video games. This game is going to surprise you, it's going to spook you, it's going to reward you for toying with its mechanics and delight you with some of the coolest animal interactions I've ever seen in a game. Look at this chinchilla. Oh, I love this guy. Please, people, go wishlist Animal Well on Steam if you want to see how deep the Animal Well really goes. Go wishlist. Did you do it? You better fucking do it, guys. When I found out why Franken was called Franken, I knew this was a good game. Nathan Drake, Alan Snake, Alan Lake, Alan Wake. Remember the crazy plot twist in Fight Club? Alan Wake does that twist 40 times in a row. You know him? That's this. At one point in the storyline, I thought that Alan Wake might actually be the spirit of a moose who died in the 1500s from being bitten by a snake. In the game, Alan Wake is a writer who has to battle an evil lake. In reality, Alan Wake is a game written by Sam Lake. In the game, it is suggested that Max Payne is a story that Alan Wake wrote. In reality, Sam Lake is Max Payne. It's not rare for a video game to have a confusing storyline, but it is rare to see that confusion leveraged in such an entertaining way. It's a story, inside of a movie, inside of a game, inside of a TV show, and there is a demented cop that keeps calling Alan Wake different author names.
Get him up, Hemingway! You're under arrest!
Nowhere to run now, Dan Brown!
Get back in the cell, Stephen King!
The Looker? That game had me looking like... I played a lot of funny games this year. None of them were actually trying to be funny. Just like Franken, you can download this for free, and just like Franken, this game is funny, and it's very clever in how it bakes the gameplay into the punchlines. If you need a laugh, go download The Looker. Or should I say, go give it a look. What's confusing about this game is that they look like turtles, it's called Ninja Turtles, but the music says that they're kangaroos.
We came to lose, we came to lose.
There's a 6-player co-op mode where you have more players on screen than enemies. However, the real draw here is the soundtrack by T. Lopes. He really knocked it out of the park with this one, bringing in rock singers, rappers, and laying down a whole bunch of energetic electronic funkiness. After 5 long years, they finally came out with the Cuphead DLC, and it was 100% worth the wait. The imagination, the animation. This DLC cements Cuphead as one of the best shoot-em-ups ever made. The only dumb part about this is that most players are probably still stuck on the first couple bosses from the original game.
I win! Alright, what?
Link's Awakening's Twin Peaks influence is not as obvious as Alan Wake's, but there is something sinister going on under those cute graphics. And they even got Warp from Super Mario Bros. 2, which will not win Game of the Year this year. I promise. For real this time. Yakuza Kawami. I don't know what the hell they were talking about in this game. I had subtitles turned off, but it seemed pretty good to me. Only in Yakuza will they have a super in-depth slot car racing minigame and then ask, but who is the man that runs the store? When is he gonna get married? And then you get wrapped up in his life because you wanted to race toy cars. I got a lot more out of this game from playing Yakuza 0 first. Some things change over the years, some things never change, and then there's Majima, who just 180'd into Daffy Duck. On top of being a gangster, he is now a police officer, a bartender, a taxi driver, a stripper, and a zombie, and you have to face him in every minigame. I gotta play more of these games. Neon White is built specifically for people who love to push up against the limits of what a video game will let you do. Time trial mode, thoughtful level design, fancy movement, John Cena. Neon White combines so many things that I love with anime, and I just have to accept it because this game is so damn good. HAL Laboratories has been making games since before I was even born, and Kirby and the Forgotten Land is one of the best games they've ever made. Finally, they listened to the fans and let Kirby become a traffic cone. In these dark times, a game this cheery and cute is always welcome in my Xbox Series Z that I have. Kirby is the happiest video game I ever played, where you battled the ultimate life form in a duel to the death. God of War. When I play this game, I said, goddamn. Very rarely can I take these serious ass games seriously, but with boss fights like this and acting like this, I couldn't help but get sucked in. Elden Ring is less fair than life, but that didn't stop me from beating this game 6 times this year. It's a no bullshit all gameplay open world. There's so much of everything, so many weapons, so many picturesque vistas, so many secrets, so many wacky enemies, and so many jaw-dropping boss fights. And the bosses are so replayable, so daunting and unpredictable with so many different moves and tricks. The Horsey Man, Gargoyle Doggy, Margit, Godric, the Grafted, Giganto, Moose, Big Doggy, Little Culver, Radon, Magma Worm, Rolling Tony, Snake Man. It just keeps going and going and going and going and going, and I fucking love it. But actually,